So in this episode we're going to be doing some panel shaping. However, before we begin, I'd just like to give a big shout out to P90F20, Simon Vaughan, Alan Allsop, Fleetwood J, James Tubriddy, Love Mini, Alex and Chris Davies. Thank you very much. Okay, so I've decided to start this build off with, we're going to be printing the lower panels. This is 200 panel, I think it's called, 12 to 16. I haven't done the reprints yet because I thought what I'd do is I'd give these a check and then we'll see if there's any need reprinting, and if so we'll do all of the reprints together. Usual procedure, 0.3 layer height. I have used supports on these because of the shape of them. I don't know if it's going to need them, and the whole thing takes about 6.5 hours. So these are the panel pieces from this week. As you can see, I have done a little bit of work on them, but they're going to need a lot of work. This is the panel for the logic lights, so you'll have a bank of lights go into each of these. This is going to be the hollow projector, or one of the hollow projectors. No idea what these do. Excuse me. So if I bring in the other pieces that I've done, I believe there's 16 pieces in total. Majority of them I have no idea. This one is fine. This is another small one. Sometimes when you do, if you look at when you're doing it on the print bed, you can save a lot of space by putting small ones inside the larger ones, so that obviously you're not going to use the print bed. This is, I don't know what that is. This is the problem, but also the exciting thing about this project is some of these parts I have no idea what I'm going to do. This is going to be another hollow projector, I believe, and this is going to be the large logic lights. This has got some really nice detailing in it. Now some of the parts failed. This one's actually fine, but these are the three that failed, so it's not too bad. These two are identical by the looks of things. So these have actually become very, very weak. So you may want to consider perhaps a 20% infill. I've been using a 10, and this one has failed as well. So that's not too bad. There's only three parts to these three are going to need reprinting, which I'll do next week. I've got this one to hand because obviously these prints don't come out with labels on them, so you need to find perhaps parts that look similar to and do comparison. So this one looks like three panels that look, I think they're actually different. So I may actually reprint all of these and then figure out which one is which, and then I'll end up with a duplicate of this one, and then this one I'll bring both of these into Cura, and then I'll because obviously what the better one is smaller, so then I'll remove the small one. So basically file wise we'll bring all of those in, and then I'll remove that from Cura. I'll print all four of those, and then obviously this one's going to be a duplicate. It's going to cost me perhaps another 20-30 pence in filament, but it's going to save me printing it and then finding out it doesn't fit. Okay, so I really want to start work on the body ring, but unfortunately I can't, because in order to do that I really need to get the skirt pieces done. And when I do sections of things, I want to complete the whole section. So we're currently printing the lower panels, so I don't really want to start work on the skirts until we've actually finished the panels, and then once we do start on the skirts, that's going to take 4 weeks to print. So that's fine, because now that we have the dome, once we've got the skirt done, we then have to, we can actually split this project down. So you see here I have the dome on the table. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some more work. I can't really fill it yet until I get all of these little sections done. So that's what we're going to begin work on today. So this week we're going to do the upper panels, which is these 7 sections here, and then next week we'll have the lower panel reprints done, which are the sections that go down here. So then we'll be able to finish those off. So this is the way I'm planning on doing it. We have 7 sections. One is this one here that goes in the middle. Now the only issue we have with that is it needs to either be perfectly round, or we need to shape it to go in. It needs to be a fairly loose fitting, but it needs to look snug. The rest of the panels, we've got 5 solid panels, and we have one with a hole in it. So it's the one with a hole in it that needs to go in a specific place, which I bought an alarm clock recently, and it's a little R2D2 one. It's actually fairly accurate, and I can actually use this as a guide. So I found it very, very useful. You see there that that's going to be where the panel is with the hole in it. So what we do is we look on the R2 on the dome, and we can see that there's a hollow projector there. There's actually 2 on the domes. So what we're looking for is not this one there. We're going to look for this one, which is 2 big squares, a hollow projector, and then the rear logic light. So I can see straight away that, oh, I've just lost my panel. So there's a logic light there. That's our large apologise for the camera angle, but there's our large logic light, so we can see that's there. So therefore the panel with a hole in it is going to go there. So obviously we don't want to get in a muddle, so what we're going to do, or what I'm going to do, sorry, I'm going to get some masking tape, and I had that just a second ago. Here it is. And what we're going to do is we're just going to make a label for them, so that we can actually take away the panels, and then we know where they go. So that's going to be number 1, and then we'll pop another label there, number 1, and then I will just continue to label all of these, and we may as well label them in order, mightn't we? 2, 3. Sorry, you can't see what I'm doing here. I'm just putting a little bit of masking tape, and I'm just putting it below, just below the hole, and I'm going to write 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we're going to finish off the build by doing two more of the ring 2 sections. This is section 3 and 4, and that's less than 7 hours build time. Very nice simple prints, nothing too complex about them, definitely no supports needed. So this is section 3 and this is section 4. Just catch the number on the bottom. So these are obviously going to go together, don't know, perhaps to form a panel. So there they are. They look okay. Perhaps a slight warp on the bottom. I was having a lot of printer problems at the time, and I think this one's actually split. I may have actually repaired that. So I don't know if you noticed that if I put them together, there's actually a gap at the top there. So if I put this gap together like that, that may create a warp on the bottom. As I say, I don't know if that's going to affect anything. We won't really know for sure until we get the next pieces in. So the finances for this week, we began with £16.85. Obviously we add £10 to that. Now the lower panels have cost us £3.06, and the body ring sections 3 and 4 on the ring 2 section, that's cost £2.73 to print. That brings our spending to the week to £5.79, which now means our balance is £21.06, which is quite good when you consider that it wasn't that many weeks ago we were actually overdrawn. So I think we're well on our way to buying our first expensive piece. So let's have a look at the comments from episode 11. If I decide to load up. So P4TF20 says, I hope that when you did the reprints of the blue dome panels, unless you haven't done them already, that in addition to the higher infill you will also go for a better surface finish as well. The extra time to print will save you time in sanding. Best of luck with your progress. To be honest with you, I'm going to disagree. Whatever quality I do them in, I'm still going to have to fill and sand them. If I did a really high quality, we're talking about possibly an extra 10 hours on the print. So it's much more economical with the time to just print them off on a really low quality. But regarding the infill, yes, definitely. Obviously, something has caused them to go wrong, and it's usually an infill issue. So yes, I would increase the infill. Simon Vaughan says, another great video. Shame about the blue segments didn't come out on your first print. Hope they're all coming together now. Great instructions, Penny. Very clear. Thank you. So yes, the reprints are coming out okay. Alan Allsop says, really unlucky with the blueprints, but looking well good. Fleetwood J, another great video. Shame the blue panels didn't print. Well, best of luck for the rest and look forward to more R2D2. James Tubridi, I always struggle with this name for some reason. Looks good as always. Shame about the panels. Love minis. Another great job of keeping up to date on the build. Horlick says, great video as always. Love the music, very catchy whilst watching the filming. Keep up the great workmanship. And Chris Davies says, great video, Penny. So again, thank you to everybody who comments, watches, likes, subscribes. It really does help my channel, and it helps me to hopefully bring some good content to you. Take care, guys. See you next week.